guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah foundation review on a very new foundation that I'm so excited about. This was a complete surprise. I didn't think that they were going to launch anything like this anytime soon with all the shades, and that is the new IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation. I'm so excited about this. If you guys watch my channel, you guys know I'm a huge fan of IT Cosmetics. I live for their CC creams. They are so lovely, and they just have really great brushes as well. Fun fact, when I went to the masterclass with Mario in Los Angeles, he used so many IT Cosmetics brushes, and like right then and there, I was like, okay, if Mario uses all these IT Cosmetics brushes, that's how you know IT Cosmetics is the shiz. Because I own a few of them. I don't own all of them because they're expensive compared to like Morphe and stuff. So I have like my select few, and I swear I cannot live without them. So I'm so excited for them. And the thing that really excites me about this is that they have so many shades. I think they have 48 shades. It's just, yeah, 48 shades. And I'm just like, OMG, you guys did it. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of briefly talk about some of the claims before we move on to the face. Also, if I sound a little weird, I got my wisdom teeth out last week. I'm still recovering. So if I sound kind of like I have like a lisp or something, or kind of slow, that's why. So this is supposed to be a foundation with a velvet matte finish that provides full yet weightless coverage that lasts up to 24 hours. I want to talk about some highlighted ingredients. So this does have hyaluronic acid, supports natural elasticity, and diminishes the look of fine lines and wrinkles. It also has ceramides, which are naturally occurring lipids that help retain moisture and help support the skin's barrier. So it's a very hydrating matte consistency, so I'm expecting like a nice velvety finish. So we're going to be testing it out for all those things. So I did go ahead and purchase this foundation on IT Cosmetics website, and the reason being was because I actually purchased it last week as soon as it came out. I couldn't wait, and it wasn't available anywhere else like Sephora or Ulta, so I was like, let me just purchase it and get it. I got it pretty fast, and I think that's because IT Cosmetics is located in New Jersey, so I'm pretty close, Maryland. So I got it right away, and it was a little tricky to figure out exactly which shade I was, but I think I did an okay job. So I picked up the shade 315 Tan Amber, which is a warm tone. The really interesting and neat thing about the shade range and everything is that when I was looking through the shades to kind of figure out what shade I was, they categorize them in a little group. So they have like light, medium, tan, dark, deep, like they have it in sections so that you know kind of exactly where to go to and where to narrow it down, as opposed to just giving you all the shades and not giving you kind of like a more in-depth description. Also, the next thing that I was really just happy with was the fact that they provide pictures, and in the pictures of each model, it wasn't just women, it was also men, and it was also people of different age groups, which I think is so fantastic. I feel like that's such an inclusive way to do things, is to include men and women and also include different age groups, because not everybody is going to look a certain way. So I'm really happy that they choose to do it that way. Also, I've been seeing like all the ads that influencers have been doing on Instagram with them, and I think it's awesome to see not just the perfect looking influencers, but also realistic influencers like Rocio Ceja. She has a YouTube channel, and she's also on Instagram, very talented makeup artist. She was one of the people that did some sponsored content for them on her Instagram, and she has acne, and I love the way that they really represented that and they showcased that, because I feel like IT Cosmetics really is great for all types of skin. Not just the girl or the guy who has beautiful looking skin, also the people that have problematic skin, which I think is one of the reasons why I always gravitate towards them, is because I feel like they really do a good job of making products that are going to be great for everybody, not just one group or one individual. So I think I pretty much went on a huge ramble. I wanted to give you guys a really good in-depth description of everything. So now we can move on to the foundation. Okay, so this is my skin without any foundation or any primer or anything like that. I did go ahead and do moisturizer first, a Beauty Ultra Repair, my favorite. And I did go ahead and just kind of prep the skin for this filming. I used my Neutrogena, I think hydrogel mask. I'm obsessed with that mask. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start off with our primer. Today for primer, I'm gonna be using my L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. And this has been one that I've really been gravitating towards. I'm gonna take that much, and that's because I really wanna like go in. And the reason I like it so much is because I feel like it does a good job of absorbing those oils without making my skin feel really dry and like overly matte. which I always appreciate. I also want to say that my skin is finally recuperating. It was literally kind of struggling because of the antibiotics that I was taking for my wisdom teeth. So I'm finally off of those antibiotics, thank goodness, because I hate taking medicine, but I had to. And I also was eating dairy because of my wisdom teeth. I was drinking dairy. I was drinking milk because I needed to drink milkshakes because that was pretty much all I could eat for a few days. But dairy and my rosacea just do not mix. So it's good that I'm finally getting at a stable place where I can go back to like my healthy, natural routine. I want to do a video on celery juice because a lot of you guys have been asking me on Instagram whenever I post my celery juice, and celery juice has completely changed the game for me and my skin, and I really want to share and talk about it. So let me know if that's something you guys want to see. Now we're going to be going in with the foundation, which, like I mentioned, is a long-wear weightless full coverage matte foundation. The packaging looks like this. I actually really like this packaging. I feel like it's very nice, simple, to the point, classic standard packaging. And you have a pump like this. So that's nice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some product on the back of my hand. You can see what it looks like. It's a very nice creamy consistency. It is very hydrating, it feels like, and it also does feel a little bit more on like the, I don't want to say thick because it's not thick, but it definitely feels like it has more pigmentation to it. As you can see now it's running. I can definitely see how this consistency kind of feels a little bit more hydrating because I'm kind of seeing that. And I'm just going to be using my Morphe sponge, and I'm just going to begin blending this all out. Definitely looks full coverage, but it still feels very, very lightweight. I feel like the color is perfect. It has like that kind of like olive undertone. Wow, that covered immediately, and it feels so good on the skin. It has a little bit of a radiance right now, but it's very, very settled. It's almost like a glow from within, like a healthy skin glow. Wow, it really covered. And it covered with that one pump that we went in with, which was amazing. I'm just kind of going back in and blending everything in. The sponge didn't really absorb too much of the product, which is a great thing. The sponge is always damp. I like to use a nice damp sponge, but I'm still feeling like I'm getting really good full coverage results with it. So you don't need that much product to get your full coverage because you're going to get it. And I definitely feel like as somebody who does suffer from rosacea and a lot of redness, it covered my redness so great, and it still is giving me that hydration. Like even though it's a matte finish, it still looks here like there's hydration coming through the skin, and it doesn't look cakey whatsoever. Even though it is a very full coverage foundation, it is a little tiny bit of a thicker consistency, but more so thick when it like comes to like rich and creamy type. I think I may go in with a few more dots right here though, because I feel like there's a little tiny bit of some red that I see. Maybe it's just me because I'm crazy, but I just kind of want to dot it. See how easy it blends? And it's also not one of those foundations where you have to worry about working too fast with it. You know those foundations that like sometimes you use and they dry so fast? This isn't like that. But it also doesn't dry super slow where you're like, okay, come on, I need to like go places. You guys can see the comparison. Foundation, no foundation, and really did the job of covering everything it needed to. But right off the bat, I definitely feel like I did get a little bit more of a fuller coverage finish, which it does claim to give me, and I feel like it got rid of my redness immediately. It also doesn't enhance too much of my texture, which I love. So now I'm going to be going in with a brush, and today I'm going to be using a different brush. This is actually the IT Cosmetics Skin Perfecting, the one that they use for the CC cream in number 702. They did come out with a foundation brush for, they did come out with a brush for the foundation. It's kind of angled, a little bit different. I personally like to use these type of brushes when it comes to foundations or CC creams where they're kind of like fluffy and kind of kabuki-like, but not completely flat at the top, kind of rounded. That brush, I feel like the main reason I didn't purchase it One was because I wasn't sure, also because of the price. It was like $42. This foundation is $32, so I just was like, okay, this is kind of like a lot. Let me just try the foundation up first. But also, I feel like I've never really used a foundation brush that kind of has that like dip in there, so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get good use out of it, and I don't want to spend $42 and then not know. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is go to Ulta or Sephora, because I'm sure they're gonna have it there, and see it, and if it's something that I would want to try, then I'll definitely give it a go. But I just didn't know that it was something that I would want to purchase online and then maybe not like it, so I just was like, I don't know. But overall, It Cosmetics does have really nice brushes, so I'm excited to use this. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the fact that I feel like this brush is white, so it gets dirty super fast. The other one is white as well, so you just kind of have to be careful with it. But let's see how this does. Okay, so it looks very pigmented when you go in. It does have this velvety consistency when I touch it. I feel like it's gonna set more so of a velvety touch. Like I mentioned, I feel like it's still setting because I'm still kind of seeing some radiance in there. So I'm excited to see how it completely sets. Just want to make sure I get in here. Okay, so this is what the brush looks like now. Very dirty looking. I feel like in a way, I guess it's kind of good to have a brush that's white so that it really like motivates you to go ahead and clean them more often, as opposed to when something is dark, you're kind of like, oh, it's okay, it'll be okay. And now we're gonna go to the forehead. So I do have to say, I feel like with the brush, what I'm seeing automatically is that it's giving me fuller coverage results quicker than with the sponge. With the sponge, I kind of had to like go in and blend it a little bit more. With the brush, I feel like as soon as you pat that brush down, you get that full coverage. Yeah, so I would say if you want fuller coverage faster, go in with a brush. If you kind of want to build it and see how it goes and go from there, then you can go ahead with a sponge and you can take your time with it. If you're in a hurry, I would definitely go in with a brush rather than the sponge, because you're going to use less product and you're going to cover quickly. I like the fact that it's not completely matte. I feel like even though I have oily skin, I just haven't been into that really, really extreme matte lately. I've been more so into like a natural, just pretty finish that still kind of gives it a very healthy, it's my skin look and feel. I'm just kind of going in with everything that's left over of the foundation, because I don't like having foundation wasted. Wow, It Cosmetics, you are really slaying. I'm not seeing an intense matte, which I personally, like I just mentioned, I do prefer, because I feel like as I'm getting older, I kind of want something to look like my skin. I don't want it to cling onto patches or cling onto fine lines, because then you know that somebody's wearing a lot of makeup, you know? So I do like this finish, and I feel like it's one that a lot of people are going to enjoy. It's not just for my oily skin people. I feel like people that have dry skin that like a hydrating, soft, matte formula will probably really enjoy it as well, because it's not a matte but flat finish. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna keep you guys updated, and I'm gonna come back as soon as I'm done my eyeshadow and the rest of my makeup to give you guys my very first impressions, to see how this foundation sets, and to go ahead and start our day, because I'm very excited and curious about this foundation. So far, I am liking it. I feel like it feels so soft and weightless on the skin, and I always really like to go for those types of foundations. So I'll be back, and the next time you guys see me, I'll be looking super snatched. Okay guys, so I am back. I finished my entire face of makeup. Today I wanted to do something a little bit more drama. But I'm really excited how this look turned out. I will have all the details on this makeup listed down below in my description box, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. So now I want to go ahead and give you guys my first impressions and thoughts on this It Cosmetics foundation. So I have to say, I really am a fan of how this looks on my skin. I feel like it just gives it a very perfected finish. Like, as you guys can see on camera, I feel like my skin looks extremely perfected, like almost like I have a filter. I did go ahead and use my concealer. The Laura Mercier concealer worked very, very beautifully with the foundation. And I did go ahead and bake it as I always do. And I just kind of dusted off any of the extra powder on areas where I felt like I get oily through the day, so like my smile lines and pretty much the T-zone. So just kind of dusted whatever was left over on those areas, because I wasn't gonna have that powder go to waste. Especially when you're an oily skin person, you know exactly what that means. You're gonna use those powders to your advantage. But I feel like everything looks so beautiful. Like, my skin just has this beautiful perfected filter-like finish that I'm definitely a huge fan of. This is something that I'm just like, whoa, this looks good. I also feel like the color, which we are wearing Tan Amber 315, is a very good match for my complexion right now. I will have it listed down below as well as some other colors that I'm in, so you guys can kind of have a reference, because I know when there's 48 shades, you're kind of like, whoa, that's a lot of shades. I don't know even where to start. So it's good to have kind of like a reference, and also it's good that they have it in categories so that you can kind of narrow things down. But I do have to say I like it. It did take a while to set into my skin and kind of give it a more velvety matte finish, as opposed to kind of looking a little tiny bit radiant. It probably took about like 15 minutes for it to really set in. So if you're somebody that needs it to quickly set in and you don't like that, then you're probably gonna have to go ahead and powder it. But it did take a little bit of time to set into the skin, but once it's set, I feel like it looked absolutely stunning and beautiful on the face, which I am definitely very grateful for, because I feel like there's nothing like having a good foundation day. Like, your eyeshadow can look great, your lipstick can look great, but when that actual base looks fantastic, you're just like winning, winning, winning. I was a little bit worried because the consistency, like I mentioned, felt like very creamy and a little tiny bit thick and really rich. So I was kind of like, ooh, I hope this doesn't get cakey, but I'm not feeling cakey whatsoever. I can't even feel the foundation on my skin. It feels so lightweight when I'm smiling. It's not like accentuating the foundation, or it's not clinging onto my smile lines or anything like that. It just looks really nice and even and very, very like smooth and velvety. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is obviously show you guys this foundation in natural lighting, because I want you guys to see how this looks just with the natural light and not studio lights. And I'm also going to give you guys an update at the very end of the day and give you guys my final thoughts on this foundation, because I'm really excited to see how this is gonna wear the whole day. A foundation can look super beautiful like the first 2 hours and we're like, oh my god, we're in it, but I mean, longevity is everything. This foundation claims to be a 24-hour wear foundation. Obviously, I'm not wearing this for 24 hours, but it would be nice for it to last my entire day, which usually is probably like about a 7 to 9 hour day. So that's what I'm really hoping for, and I'm really excited for these results, and I'm really excited because I'm a huge fan of IT Cosmetics, and I just hope that this does work. But so far, I am liking it. Price point $32. I don't think that's bad at all for a higher end brand, but I definitely want this to be worth my $32 because I did go ahead and purchase this. I wish the foundation brush though was cheaper, because $42 for that, I would pay that for a foundation, but I don't know about a brush. I can't wait to get the day started and wear this makeup out, because I am living for this look. So if you guys want to continue watching and see how the day unfolds with the IT Cosmetics confidence in a foundation, then please go ahead and do so, because I promise you, you won't want to miss the tea at the end of this video. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 6 p.m. I think. I'm just looking at some makeup on my laptop, but I wanted to come back and give you guys another update before my final update later tonight. I did show you guys how the makeup looked in natural lighting, as you guys briefly saw in my last clip. Leo, I'm trying to film. But as you guys can see, this is what the foundation looks like now. Leo. So I'm trying to get like good lighting, but it's getting darker by the second. Can you guys see anything? I hope you guys can see a little something, but I'm sorry if this isn't the most professional, ideal look right now. But I just wanted to come back on so I could show you guys how the foundation looked on my skin. And I feel like it's kind of blurry. What is going on with this camera? We need a new camera. I was looking at it all day, especially when I was in the car. Like in the mirror, you can really see like everything, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And I feel like it really looked so beautiful. Like I was completely airbrushed. I was getting so many compliments, and not that compliments from other people matter sometimes. Like you need to just hype your own self up, but still I really love how it looks. Like I feel like for it being 6 p.m. already and it's still looking this good, I'm just like, yes. So I'll see you guys at the end of the night in my filming studio, which will have more clear lights and not so dark. But I just wanted to check in again, even if it wasn't the best lighting, so you guys could see. Luckily for us, it's almost daylight savings Sunday, so we're gonna get more sunlight, so we won't have these issues next week with our future foundation review. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 10:25 p.m. at night, and it's been a very long day. We've been wearing this foundation for so many hours, but the last time I saw you guys, I did a little check-in, which was kind of dark, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to show you guys how the foundation looked, and of course I was going to come back now to really share with you guys my final thoughts on the new IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation. I have to say I'm very impressed with this foundation. I feel like it looks absolutely beautiful on my skin. I also feel like it doesn't feel like I'm wearing any makeup. With some foundations, by the end of the day, I just feel like it's like slipping and sliding off of my face, but I do not feel that way whatsoever with this foundation. I feel like it really locked into place. It doesn't feel sticky at all, which is definitely something that I don't like when foundations feel too sticky, because I feel like if I touch somebody or something, I feel like it kind of sticks and then it kind of transfers. And I feel like this just doesn't feel sticky. It feels so velvety and nice that it almost feels like the skin and the foundation become one. You guys know that I always rave about the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist and how this really helps the foundation and the skin become one. I feel like this foundation doesn't need any of that, because I feel like this foundation does it itself. Through the hours, I definitely am seeing a little bit of radiance peek through in some points of my face, but it's not enough for me to be like, whoa, this is too much. This isn't true to the matte statement. It does claim to be a velvety matte finish, which automatically tells me that it's not going to keep me absolutely 1000% matte, but I like it this way because I feel like I still get hydration. Like I just mentioned, I feel like with some foundations, by the end of the day, I'm like, I need to take this off. Like, it's too much. But this, I could probably go a few more hours wearing it and I wouldn't even notice I have foundation on. That's how good and lightweight it feels on the skin. Look up close. Do you see this? Like, my skin looks so perfected. And mind you, the past few days have not been the best with my skin. Like today, I was worried that the foundation wasn't gonna look well with the skin, but it made my skin look so good where I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good about myself. Like, this is one of those foundations that just makes me feel really good about my skin. And I think that's what IT Cosmetics really wants to do, is release products that make you feel good and make you feel like, okay, I'm wearing makeup, but I still have the good ingredients that I need. I'm wearing makeup, but I still feel like this is my enhanced beauty. So I really have to say that I am a fan of this foundation. I'm excited to continue using it. I feel like it's definitely going to be one that may make it to my favorites for March. What I would love to have seen IT Cosmetics do with this foundation that I feel like they didn't do was add SPF. I literally just thought about that. I was like, what is one thing that I would say I wish this foundation had? And it's SPF. I mean, their CC creams have a ton of SPF that I am always so happy with. So I would have to say, if you guys have been eyeing this foundation, I would definitely recommend you try it out, because you are not going to regret it. It's a very, very nice formula. It stays for the whole day. I know a lot of you guys look for products that will be long wearing. This is definitely one of those, and I just feel like my skin looks absolutely beautiful. I really was a fan of my makeup today, but like now I'm like, okay, it's 10 p.m., but I don't want to take this off. So yeah, those are pretty much all my thoughts on this new IT Cosmetics foundation. I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. And the reason I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10 is because I feel like this foundation would have been like that much better if it did have some SPF. But nonetheless, the finish is so beautiful and it's like really doing things for me right now. It's kind of up there with my Dior Forever, which you guys know, this is like my baby as of lately. I've been so obsessed with this. Also my Makeup Revolution. These two are just like my gems, but this may become part of the club or even replace one of these. So you guys are gonna have to stay tuned later this month to see my March favorites and see if this makes the cut. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video and found it very useful. I will have all the information and details on this new IT Cosmetics foundation down below in my description box, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing my foundation reviews. I know you guys love these reviews on my channel. You guys always come for these reviews, so I really appreciate it. And don't forget that thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Gets me to kind of be seen in other people's, you know, suggested videos. So it always helps me out. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. I would love for you to become a member of our family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. We're getting closer and closer to 30,000 subscribers. So let's just go ahead and get right there, because it would make my day. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video, because let's be real, why would you want to miss my videos? I always hook you guys up and save you guys some cash. So that being said, I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye, guys.